Blue Period is a manga about striving for your dreams no matter what, pursuing your passion even when the doubt in your heart takes over. It's a heartwarming story filled with pain, heartache, and roadblocks, all while being so much more. You could even say I'm in Spain, without the S, because this story gets real emotional real quick. And I'm not talking about when your favorite manga gets an anime adaptation by Studio Dean. Even the name Blue Period has a meaning connected to the overarching theme of the story. Blue Period's name comes from the period in Picasso's life where his work conveyed a more somber tone. This isn't boring, right? Right? Now enters our main character, Yatora Yamaguchi. At first glance, he looks like nothing more than your typical anime delinquent, but underneath all that is an emotional and truly flawed character who hasn't found his own voice yet, figuratively, of course. He lives on the whims of doing things for the sake of socializing, and they're just to make friends, until he tries to be more true to himself, waiting for his passion to shine through. Art is a big theme in this anime, if the name didn't give it away already. Yatora's feelings at the time show him brush off art electives as something only slackers or otakus. Ideology is immediately confronted once he walks into the art club and, damn, was this done by the art club? Maybe if I touch it, I'll know what true art feels like.
I can't tell if you're seriously trying to touch a clearly wet painting or you're just an idiot.
Enters Ryuji, a character who shows that all of what Yatora is doing is fake. Hearing that gets them both into an argument where we get to see his mindset on art. I don't know why you'd want to do something you can't even make a living out of, just because you're passionate. Before leaving, he's told art is fun, especially for those who are honest with themselves. It's clear why he wouldn't be able to see the fun in expressing yourself in the craft. It's a language without words that he fails to see. This story has a theme I tend to see in animes quite a lot. Hard work versus natural talent. In Naruto, before he was in Fortnite, I cannot believe it. Oh, how they did my boy Sasuke dirty. You just can't understand how painful this is to watch. Anyway, in Naruto, you had Rock Lee versus Gaara, and that was a representation of how far hard work can get you. Regardless of whether Lee was able to get the victory in the end, doesn't really matter. The story has a message it wanted to tell and get across to the audience, and just like in Blue Period, we see Yatora say this to Maru, a member of the art club that I probably should have mentioned earlier, but we're mentioning her now. Her response:
I'm not talented at all. It's just that I spend more time thinking about art than others.
So, when you simply call it talent like that, it makes it sound like I haven't done anything at all. The part in the story where Yatora pours his heart, mind, body, and soul into his piece of art is a turning point in his character arc. Getting complimented on something he truly wanted to work on for himself puts him into tears. Also, more surprisingly, I didn't expect for Yatora and Ryuji to have each other's phone numbers. Regardless, there's something so pure about the passion each character has for their own dreams. When I see Yatora in that blue world, it puts my own heart at ease, and I know there's a reason to keep on pushing forward. In a way, this anime's message kind of reminds me of Mob Psycho, and how the story has a meaning to put these characters through all these tough moments. There are times when you want to give up and it hurts, but after all, how can you have your highs without your lows? Now, don't get me wrong, each character shines beautifully, like Ryuji, who decides to live for himself despite all the societal norms. But eventually, we come to see that all his outward confidence is nothing more than just an act. A person who acts like they don't care what others think of them is greatly affected deep down. A little dive into his character arc shows that, while he may put on a brave face, Ryuji truly just wants to reach out and take hold of what matters to him. All these conflicting thoughts bogging down his mind. A bit of his home life is revealed, and we're shown why he's seemingly been struggling alone all this time. Okay, now Yatosuke, my favorite little tsundere, don't I cut that out? Has a way of showing what having only one thing to cling on to does to a person. He looks at Yatora as a person who has everything he doesn't, and you kind of understand where he's coming from. On the outside, Yatora seems to have the perfect life, full of friends, good grades, but you never know the kind of baggage the other person's carrying around. That of course goes both ways. Yatosuke praised for his talent. He's seemingly looked at as a genius, but deep down is very flawed, and he knows that all too well. Okay, this video got real emotional.
I hate you, down to your very core. Don't forget we have lunch together at 6, idiot.
Just a level of bundle of joy. Anyway, I can't forget about Hashira, who, might I add, has a hairstyle fit for someone in art school, which isn't a bad thing, I think. I see him more as a mad scientist, though.
Your use of the palette is just exhilarating. It simply puts me to shame.
Or maybe he's just an eccentric with a big art fetish or something. And, of course, can't forget Kuwana, who seemingly comes off as a cardboard cutout of a character. Kuwana's fear of her art looking like her sister's weighs heavily on her, showing her inferiority complex for what it really is. Realizing it whether she wants to or not, her art is distinct. It's all her own.
And that's when I knew that I could fly. Wait, you are listening, right?
Yeah. Burū Period shines down on something I never knew I lacked. Self-centeredness. Yatora is so bent on making his dreams come true that that's his only focus, which isn't wrong, but every once in a while you have to reach out and take the time to have fun. Something surprising about this series that I didn't think I'd enjoy so much was the scenes between characters. These intimate little moments where their emotions pour out and we see that everyone is holding on to some type of baggage that's holding them back in the long run from truly letting them pursue their dreams and passions. Whether that be pressure from friends, family, teachers, etc., it's an eye-opening moment, not just for me, but my life in general. So what if your passion isn't what people want you to do, or you think you're not good enough at? It's okay no matter what anyone says to you. It's okay to be selfish because you only have one life. Why live it doing what others say is the right dream for you to chase, when you can chase the dreams you've had your whole life? The tears I saw the characters shed at first felt like something I'd find annoying, but I couldn't help but resonate with their feelings deep down. They had something they genuinely wanted to chase, something like that hit so close to home I couldn't help but feel emotional. Just like Yatora, Kuwana, Ryuji, Yatosuke, it felt like words I waited my whole life to hear. Like what I wanted wasn't completely useless. What Burū Period means to me above the story, the characters, all that, it's a story of not only pursuing your passion, but against all odds, pushing past the pain of failure and the doubt of those around you, whether they mean it that way or not. Burū Period is inspiring, and I can clearly see the message behind the painting. If it looks blue to you, then anything can be blue. In that case, if you can see your dreams as clear as that blue painting, you can achieve them, no matter what.